Chumash and Rashi, the Torah portion, VaYishlach. We're in the sixth reading. Continuing. Oops. With the story of Yaakov. Okay. Chapter 35, verse number 12. God just changed his name to Israel, even though it was changed by the angel before, but now it's by God himself. After the whole incident with Dinah in Shechem. Yeah. Okay, we continue. Right away to get, hold on. Oh, there we go. That's larger. That's nicer. Clearer. Okay. Ves ha'aretz, and the land asher nasati, that I have given la'Avraham, to Avraham, Yitzchak, and to Yitzchak, lecha, to you, and then I'm giving it. L'zeracha acharecha, and to your descendants after you. Etain es ha'aretz, I will give the land. Verse number 13. Vial, and he ascended me'elav, Hashem, from upon him. God ascended from upon him. From the place where he spoke to him. Rashi. Interesting. Yeah, that God ascended. In other words, yeah, he came down, so to speak. Now he ascended. The place where he spoke to me, we've said before about Rashi, right? He's very honest. And if he has a problem with something, he tries to give an answer. But here he says, I don't know what this is teaching us. In other words, of course, if God ascended and left his conversation with Yaakov, so it is from the place where he spoke with him. That's so what is that adding to say that?
So if Rashi has no idea what this is, anyone who knows what it means.
I mean, there might be other commentators that give, and there could be other commentators. You have to look, right? That's first of all. But other commentary, first of all, might not be the simple meaning of the text. Rashi is only, in other words, what is this teaching us from the simple meaning of the text, as opposed to the homiletics or a hinted meaning or esoteric meaning, those levels he's not referring to. Right. Now, it seems to be superfluous to say from the place where God spoke to him. Like, where else is he ascending from? V'yat save Yaakov, and Yaakov erected Matzeva, a monument, b'mokom, in the place Asher Diver, in the place that he spoke Itay with him. Matzeva 7, a monument from stone. V'yasech aleha, and he poured upon it nesach, a libation, which libation means usually a wine. Libation, v'yitzek aleha shaman, and he poured upon it oil, so wine and oil, right? Yikra Yaakov, and Yaakov called as Shema Mokum, the name of the place, Asher Diba Yitei, that God spoke with him, Sham, there, Elohim Beis Kel, and the house of God. And that was already called that. I mean, we know this name already. It's been called this before. What does it mean, like he's calling it now? And yeah, and yesterday, right? Verse number 6 and 7. that Yaakov came to Luz, the land of Canaan, Bethel, the people were with him, and he built an altar there, and he called in the place Kel Beskel, that God revealed himself there. So, like, it already had that name. So what does it mean he's calling? Maybe he's just referring to what he did already. But then if that's the case, wouldn't that be superfluous?
Exactly.
Right? Rashi doesn't address it. Okay. You know what's important? We're learning how to learn. We're learning how to discern in the verse, what can be an issue, right? It's important.
But if it's an issue to us, how do we get it dealt with?
Hmm?
If it's an issue to us, if we are trying to discern what it means.
Not necessarily everything we're going to get an answer, right? So you won't sleep tonight trying to figure out the answer. 16. Yisami base and he traveled from Bethel. Vehi oid kivir sa'aretz, and it was on the journey in the kivra sa'aretz. Rashi's going to say the distance of the land. Love Ephrat, so to come to Ephrat. The Rachel gave birth. The Tikash Velidita, and she had difficulty in birthing. Rashi Kivra Tza'aretz. So Menachem Pirish Loshin Kabir. So Menachem explains it that the word Kabir over here means rivui, great quantity, the great quantity of a distance. V'halacharav, a long trek. The Agadata explanation of these words is man at a time sha'aretz chalula, that the land is pitted and full of holes, kivra, like a sieve. So kivra means a sieve, according to the Medrash, right? Meaning the land is full of holes and pits and so on. Shanir Matsui, that the broken ground is commonplace during the plowing season. Hasasis Avar, and in the winter has passed. Sherev Hadayan Loibo, and the intense heat has not yet come. In other words, so after the winter, right here in Montreal, after the winter, what do we got? Lots of potholes. So this is what he's saying. After the winter in Israel, in Canaan, that there's a lot of holes in the ground, right before the intense heat of the summer. That I guess the intense heat of the summer would maybe cover over some things. I don't know. I'm not certain what that means. Sharei ben Naaman Matzino, regarding Naaman, we see VaYishlach ita kibras haaretz. He went away from the land. Karka. Okay, then you just bring in two different explanations we have here. Okay, 17. Vayhi ba'akshaisa delidita, and when she was having ba'akshaisa, when it was very difficult, severe in the birth, the tamer law, and the midwife said to her, Hamayaledes is the midwife, Al tiri, gamzel lach ben, don't have fear, because this is also a son for you. Rashi, ki gam zeh, for this one, Yosef lach al Yosef, in addition to Yosef, this is a son for you. And the sages interpret, im kol sheva, with each tribe, nolda te'uma. There was born a twin, a female was born. In Binyamin, nolda te'uma, so you say it was an extra twin was born. Ki gam zeh. Right, that, yeah, why Rashi brings that down as a simple meaning, as a second explanation, don't understand. Right, ki gamza. There's a debate about this, right? So from these words, also this. So just like the others had, this has an also, which means an additional uh, child that was born.
As opposed to what, the two males, the two boys being born. I'm not seeing that.
Also means in addition, right?
So how different would it have been if it was simply the boy and his twin sister?
Because there's something more here than the others, right? There's a more here. So the more is there's another child born.
Yeah, but it's a son. It's a son for you.
Yeah, but well, this is not he's. This is a sit. First of all, we have a question why Rashi brings this down because it's a it's expounding it. It's not the simple meaning, right? So why is Rashi bringing this? Right. Um, yeah, right. The simple meaning, the first explanation he gives, it means that this is an addition to Yosef. The second interpretation, which is seemingly not the simple meaning, that this is in addition to that which was already with every other birth, not in addition to Yosef. So there's, okay. Ahibit says Nafshan, it was when her soul left. Basically, she died. V'tikra Shemayin, she called his name Ben Oini, the son of my Oini, my sorrow. But Aviv Karaloi Binyamin, and his father called him Binyamin, son of the south, which is the right. Okay, let's see Rashi. Ben Oini, Ben Sa'ari, a son of my pain. She had pain in the birth and she died. Binyamin, Nirabeinai, it appears to me, he named him Binyamin Lefishu Hu Lavada because he was alone of all the sons of Yaakov, Neilaber Canaan, that was born in the land of Canaan. Right? All the others were born in Haran, right? She Benegeb, which is in the south. Adam Ba Aram Naharayim, when a person comes from the Aram Naharayim from Mesopotamia, Commission Emar, Benegeb Canaan, in the south, in the land of Canaan, Haylach Nasaya Hanegbav, journeying steadily to the south. So, right, you're coming from up north, right? Beyond the Euphrates, that's up north, and you're going towards the south. So since he was born in Israel, so this is like to bring out that to express that he's born in Israel. Okay. Binyamin, Ben Yamin, son of Yamin, south. Right? Based on what we just learned, that he was traveling from the north to the south. Lashon Safin Yamin, Ata Barasum. So we see in Tehillim that the word Yamin is used for the word south. Safin is north and Yamin is south. The Fikachu Mole, that's why it is spelled filled, but the Yuds. Because the word Yamin is in there. Ben, so you have, look at what you have there. You have the word Ben, son, right? Yamin of the south. Davar Acher, it's another alternative. Binyamin ben Yamim, the son of days. Because he was born when Jacob was old. V'nichta ben Nun kamoi the Ketzayami. So it should be with a mem, but sometimes it's written with a nun. Okay. But Thomas Rachel, and Rachel died, B'tikava b'derech, and he buried her on the path Ephrasa to Ephrat. He Beislachem, that is Beislachem, which is Bethlehem in English. Huh? 36. Yeah. Yeah. Yatzav Yaakov Matseva, and Yaakov made a tombstone al Kvorasa over her burial. He Matzev is Kvoris Rachel Adayim. Whoa. It is look at what this it says. It's a tombstone of Rachel. It's Rachel's grave to this very day. Yeah. To this very day. We know exactly where she's buried to this very day. People go there. Gotta be careful. It's not so easy to go there. Yeah. I was there last. I remember the last time. Maybe a dozen years ago.
That's how we made it go fresh.
Well, being by the gravesite of Rachel.
It's 1,000 years ago. You said they were there 1,000 years ago.
Dozen years ago.
Oh, a dozen.
No, 1,000 years ago. That's how that's how I know Old French. A dozen years ago. My English sounds like Old French, huh? Isa Israel, and Israel traveled, right? Jacob ate Alai, and he pitched his tent Mahala the Migdal Eder, beyond Migdal Eder. He Bishkain Israel Ba'aretz Hahi, and it was when Israel, right? He resided in the region, that region. VaYishlach Reuven went. Yishkav is Billah, and literally means that he lied down with Billah, Pelegish Aviv, the concubine of his father. Right? That's what literally it means. But it means he, as we'll see, that he took the bed that was now more that Rachel had passed away, the mainstay, right? Of Yaakov. He took the bed that now was not by Yaakov, but he put by Bilhah, and placed it in Leah's tent. V'yishma Yisrael, and Yisrael heard V'yibnei Yaakov Shnei Masar. And there's a little interruption over here with a pei, which means a separation of space of 9 letters. And Jacob's sons were 12. Let's see. Interesting. What does that mean? Right. Lots of questions here. Bishkain Yaakov there. So when Yaakov resided in that, Israel resided in that region, Ad Shaloi Ba Lechevron, it's Yitzchak Ru Al Kolela. Before he came to Yitzchak, his father, in Hebron, right? So all these troubles befell him. Yishkav. So what does it mean that he lied? Reuven lied with her? Had relations with her? No. Since he disturbed the location of Yaakov's bed, Mila Alavakosov, so Torah treats Reuven Kila Shkava, as if he lied and had relations with her. Lama Bilbo Chil Yitzua. Why did Reuven disturb and desecrate Yaakov's bed? Because when Rachel died, Natal Yaakov Mita, so Yaakov took his bed, that was regularly situated in the tent of Rachel, and not in the other tents, and he placed it in the tent of Bilhah. Ba Reuven, so Reuven came, and he demanded to be satisfied from the insult to his mother, right? In other words, how could he not go and be by Leah? Omar, if my mother's sister was a rival to my mother, should my mother's sister's handmaid be a rival for my mother? That's why he disturbed and he changed the bed. He took the bed out from Bilhah and placed it by Leah. Got it? Yeah? Now, Rashi is, of course, bothered. Why does it say V'ibnei Yaakov Shem Asar? Like all of a sudden, it goes off topic in the middle of the verse. There's a pay there, which means there's a space, right? What does it mean? The sons of Yaakov were 12. Masculine in Rishon resumes the previous topic. Shenele Binyamin, that once Binyamin was born, Nishlama Hamita, the entire bed of Jacob is complete, meaning his entire family. Matarim limanos, now they're fit to be counted. Umanam, so the Torah counts them, that they were 12, right? Till now, we didn't have a count because they weren't complete. So this says Rashi. So he doesn't address Rashi, and maybe that's why he gives a second explanation now of why would that be in the middle of a verse that has nothing to do with it. That's got to do about the bed that Ruvain took, right? So Rashi gives that as a first explanation, right? But he's not satisfied with that. And now he says, Rabbi Seinu Darshu, our rabbis, they explained that that the verse is coming to teach us, they're all equal. Kulam tzadikim, they're all righteous. Ruvain didn't sin. He didn't sin. Huh? That's what's implied by the verse. That's why it's putting it in this verse. So in context, the first explanation is the context is we're talking about the 12th son was born, and that's why we're given the number now. The number was never given before because now they're complete, right? But in the verse itself, it doesn't seem to fit. So that's why the first explanation is insufficient. It's good to give us the context of what we're talking about in general, right? And that's why he gives a second explanation. Bnei Leah, the children of Leah, the sons of Leah, Bechor, Yaakov, the firstborn of Yaakov, Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zvulun. Rashi in 23. Bechor Yaakov, the firstborn of Yaakov, Afilu b'shas Hakal Kaliv, and he did this destructive thing, Kara Bechor. The Torah still comes the firstborn. Bechor Yaakov, furthermore, Bechor Lenachal, firstborn for the portion, a double inheritance. Bechor La'aveda, he's also the first to perform the service. In other words, what is he supposed to do? Bechor Laminyan is first in number in the census. The birthright of the firstborn was only given to Yosef only in the matter of the tribes. Is given that he became two tribes. But Reuven was still the firstborn. Yeah, to be counted first and to get a double portion of the estate and the service. But he'll lose that. Why will Reuven lose it later? Because the tribe of Reuven was involved in the sin of the golden calf and the tribe of Levi wasn't. But at this point, they would be the Kohanim, right? And they would be the ones who'd serve Reuven at this point, right? Bnei Rachel, the sons of Rachel, Yosef and Binyamin. Bnei Bilhah, and the sons of Bilhah, Shivchas Rachel, who is a maidservant of Rachel, Donovan and Naphtali. Bnei Zilpah, and the sons of Zilpah, Shivchas Leah, who is a maidservant of Leah, Gad ve'Asher. Ele b'nei Yaakov, these are the sons of Yaakov asher yulad loy that were born to him b'paddan Aram. Wow. That were born to him in Paddan Aram, right? Which includes Binyamin, who wasn't born there. Rashi doesn't say anything. Maybe just to, speaking about the generality of it, that 11 of them were born there. Uh-oh. 27. Yaakov. Oh, hey, finally, Yaakov comes El Yitzchak to Yitzchak, Aviv, his father. Mamre. In Mamre, the plains of Mamre, Kiryas Arba, which is Kiryas Arba, the city of four. He Chevron, which is Chevron. Asher Gasham Avram Yitzchak, where Avram and Yitzchak dwelt. Mamre, Shem Amishor is the name of a plain. 27 Rashi. Kiryas Arba, Shem Ayer, the name of the city. Mamre Kiryas Arba, Mamre of Kiryas Arba, meaning the plains of Kiryas Arba. Al Misha Shel Kiryas Arba, meaning the plains, flatlands of Kiryas Arba. And if you will make an objection to this and say, V'hayo ledichtem Mamre Kiryas Arba. Excuse me. So if you'll say that it should have been written Mamre HaKiryas with a Hey, the plain of the Kiryas Arba. So I'll tell you that this is the way sometimes the verse reads. Whenever the name of something is doubled, you're going to say it like this: the Eza base skill, and VaYishlach. Who's a Chladil? Okay, just some. Yitzchak, and it was the days of Yitzchak, Ma'ashana, 100 years, Ishmael, Ishana, and 80 years. Yigva Yitzchak, and Yaakov expired, and Yitzchak expired. Yamas, and he died. The Esav, and he was gathered, El Amav, to his people. Zokin, an elder, right? Usfa Yamim, and fulfilled days. Yigbar, and he was buried. Esav, Yaakov Bana, and Esav and his brother and Yaakov buried them, right, in the Hebron, the Maras Machpelah. Rashi. The Yigma Yaakov expired. There's no chronological order in the Torah, right? The sale of Yosef, preceded the death of Yitzchak. Next week's parsha will be the sale of Yosef when he's 17 years old, right? That came before this. Come, let me say, yeah. Shteim is Sheishana by 12 years. So now he's going to show and prove that that's the fact, right? That he was. So he said, Yaakov, because when Yaakov was born, Yitzchak ben Shishim Shana, Yitzchak was 60 years old. Shenemar, as the verse said, Yitzchak ben Shishim Shana. Right, that was in Parshas told us. Okay. Yitzhak Meis, Mishas Meya Be'esrim Shana. So then that means he was 120 years old, right? Yaakov was 120 years old when his father was 180 years old and passed away. Im Ta'etzi Shishim, Veshmoinim, Yishar Meya Be'esrim. So yeah, we're left with 120. Yosef Nimkot ben Shrasei Shana, and Yosef was sold at 17 years old. Vayisei Shana Shnaz Meya V'Shmeinim Liakov. Meya V'Shmeina Liakov. In that year, when he was sold, Yaakov was 108. Okay, so how do we arrive at that? Then Shishim Mishalash Nizbarach 63, he was blessed by Yitzchak. One second. Yeah. So when he was 16 Nizbarach, he was blessed by Yitzchak. Barba Seishan and the base there. And it was 14 years. He studied in the house of Aver, the study house. So Ben Shibim Mesheva, so that makes him 77 now. When he came to Lavan, and he worked 14 years for his wives. In the end of the 14 years, that's when Yosef was born. Right? Shinemar, Yosef. Right? So that makes him 91. It was 17 until he was sold. So may have you have 108. So that means there's from 108 to 120 is 12 years. So those are 12 years, right? Because he was 120 when his father passed away, as we said previously. So I hope you got the math over there. The Eid Mefurish Mina Mikra, it's also explicit in the Torah. Kishanim, Ka Yosef and Yosef was sold. Achiba Yaakov, let me try when Yaakov came to Egypt. Esrim Mishtaim Shana was 22 years from his sale, right? Which made Yosef 39. Yosef in Shleshim Shana, and Yosef was 30 years old when he became ruler. Sheva Shnei Seva. Yosef in Shleshim Shana, Shnei Shana Seva. And then there was 7 years of plenty and 2 years of famine. Because it's the 22. Ksiv. The years of my sojourn were 130 years. Nimsa. Yaakov also should Yosef. Right, when you subtract it. Okay. And the Toldos. These are the descendants. Esav, who Edom. Of Esav, he is Edom. Esav lakach is Nashav. Esav took his wives, Mibnei Canaan, from the daughters of Canaan. As Ada, Ves Eloi, Nachiti, as Alivama, Ves Anabas, Tzivya Nachivi. Okay. Rashi. Ada Bas Elon. Ada, the daughter of Elon. He Basmas Bas Elon. This is Basmas, the daughter of Elon, Mikra Basmas, and she called Basmas Hashem Shahaitza Makteris some Lavai because she used to use spices like besamim, right? Basmas, so spices to as incense for idols. Alivama, so Yehudis. This is Judith, who Kina Shema Yehudis. Esav renamed her. Noima Shehi Kaiferes B'Avodah Zarah. And she confessed right there, she rejected idolatry. That's what Kedei Lahat is Azavi. Just mislead his father. Okay. Um, Bas Anna Bas Tzivyon, daughter of Anna, daughter of Tzivyon. In Bas Anna, if she's the daughter of Anna, Ma Bas Tzivyon, what does it mean she's the daughter of Tzivyon? She can't be a daughter of two mothers or fathers. Answer is Anna Ban Tzivyon. Anna was the son of Tzivyon. Shenemar Elevene Tzivyon Vaya Anna. So this teaches that Tzivyon had relations with his daughter-in-law, Ashes Anna, the Anna's wife. Yata Livama Miven Shneim. So it came out from the two of them. They tell you they're all mamzerim, illegitimate. Okay, there's Basmas Vas Ishmael, and he married Basmas, the daughter of Ishmael. Achais Navaya is the sister of Navayas. Rashi, Basmas Vas Ishmael. Lahalan Keilah Machlas. But elsewhere she's called Machla. Matzina Bagada Midrash. Sefer Shmuel, we find in the Gadik interpretation, the book of Shmuel, Shloisha Moichlim Lehem Avanisayim. There are three whose sins are forgiven. Yeshin Yisgayer, a convert who converts, right, to being Jewish. Right? So your sins are forgiven. Someone who ascends a great position, and they see Isha, and someone who marries a woman. Lama. Okay, the Lama Hatamikan. So this source is the one is forgiven when they get married is derived from here. Kach Nikras Machlos. That's why she called Machlos. Because she was because Esau married her, his sins were forgiven. So when you become a convert, you're starting a new life. Your previous sins are forgiven. When you are given a great position, your sins are forgiven. You're in a new position now in life. When you get married, your sins are also forgiven. So macha means to be moichel. Moichel means to forgive. Achais nevoyas, this sister of nevoyas, al shem shehi see alive because he married her off. Commission may Ishmael when Ishmael died. Because Okay, we're not going to finish it here. We're going to stop here.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Okay,
Thank you.
see you.
Aprende.